I've been studying confidence and social skills for over 10 years at this point, and I want to share with you guys some brutally harsh truths that took me a really long time to figure out. I learned the hard way, honestly. I'm 34 years old now, but at 24, I was at rock bottom socially. And over the last decade, I've gone through this journey, and nobody told me a lot of these things, man. So I just want to lay it out on the table for you guys so you could shift your perspective, make the actual tweaks that you need to get success. And then I also want to show you the timeline that it actually takes to go through that. It doesn't need to take 10 years if you understand the concepts I explained in this video. See, my journey when I first started, I started watching a lot of content on social skills. I grew up thinking you either got it or you don't. I grew up very shy. My dad passed away when I was 12. I closed off from the world. I played video games and smoked weed. And my first girl, I was in a comfort zone the whole relationship, just smoking weed, playing Call of Duty, delivering pizza, living in my mom's basement. She ended up leaving me after 5 years. That's when I was at rock bottom socially, at 24 years old. And when I first discovered, wow, social skills is actually something you could work on, right? Like growing up, I was just super shy. But I started to watch the videos and I was like, wow, this actually makes sense. You could actually go out and improve this thing. So I just started binging all the videos, started watching all the content, had all these different coaches. I would watch one coach's channel in full, then I would go to the next coach, watch his stuff in full, go to the next coach, watch his stuff in full. 9 months, 10 months in a row of just doing that. Zero action taken. I thought I was getting a lot better because I was studying all of this content and it all made so much sense. I didn't change at all though. Then finally, there was a coach, one of the coaches I watched who lived in New York. He said, hey, if you come out to New York for the day, we'll film you. We may use your content for educational purposes, but I'll give you some coaching. And I was like, okay, let's do it. I went out there, they put the mic on me. I was afraid, I was so scared. But they pushed me into like 10 interactions that day. And that was the first time. It took me 10 months to do my first 10 approaches. And it was only because I had a coach with me and some other dude who were pushing me into interactions because they just wanted to get some content for their own channel. Right after that, I went home feeling so accomplished, and it took me another year to even go out and do more approaches. Until finally one night I was drunk enough and I had spent enough time wasted that I was like, fuck it, I gotta do a little bit. So almost 2 years with hardly any action taken. The third year I hired a coach. I worked with him for a week straight, started to get over the fear a little bit. And by the third, going into fourth year, I started to take action consistently. But dude, over 3 years just to get to a place where I could take action consistently, crazy to think about. And a lot of you dudes, because I've spoken to a lot of you guys over the years, I've been coaching guys for like 6-7 years at this point. All of you guys are the same way. Maybe not as obsessively watching content as I am, but all of you dudes, man, you watch too much videos. You don't take enough action. You watch too many videos, dude. You talk. Like I used to just hang out with my friends and just shoot the shit. We would just smoke weed and talk about our dreams, our hopes, or talk shit on our other friends that weren't there. And then just watching content, smoking weed, watching content. I'm telling you guys, the content should be maybe 5% of your journey. It's learning through implementation. The application of the theory is the only way you can learn it. And you only have a limited amount of time in a day that you can go implement. We waste that time watching content that's not even aligned with the step that we need to take today. That's the problem right there. You got no structure. You don't know what level you're at. So you watch all this content about things you can't even do, but you're not even doing the step today that's going to actually make a change. It's the very first thing that I need to tell you. Stop watching my channel. Stop watching these channels so much. Watch one video a day max. Get the fuck back to work, dude. Get back to work. And if it's late at night and you're like, well, I can't do it now, go to bed earlier so you could wake up earlier, so you could get your work done, so you have a 30 to 60 minute window in your day for you to go out and take action. Oh, but I don't live by a major city, Kyle. I don't give a fuck. You go somewhere and you take the action. You want to get better with social skills? You need to socialize. Not with your mom, with strangers. On a daily basis. Every day you go out and you take the action. At least a little bit, dude. At least a little bit. You find a way to get into a couple interactions. I don't even care if they're hot. This was a weird mentality I had at the beginning too. Understand that the majority of my social interaction is not with hot women, and that is totally okay. You need to work out the social muscle daily. Daily, man. Every day. You got to find a way to go into an environment, to go socialize. And I hear all the excuses, dude. I hear all the excuses. So that's the first thing, is less watching, put down the cell phone, turn off the TV, turn off the content, get into the field, but prioritize your day in a way where it makes sense. I know you have at least 15 to 20 minutes in your day. If you scheduled everything properly and you moved efficiently throughout your day, you have that time slot at some point to go talk to somebody. That will do way more for you than watching more videos. The next thing, that what I learned over time, because I nerded out on watching so much tactical content and all these different phrases and all these things, understand, it really comes down to two things, man. It's your vibe and your look. I've never met a dude who was good with women. I've never met a dude who had a whack vibe and who didn't look good, but yet suddenly he was good with women. It doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. Now look, there's dudes online that say it's all about looks, and then there's dudes that hyper focus on game. I legitimately think it's both. I think if you look really good, but you don't have the right vibe in the words and the way you deliver your communication, it's off. Unconfident, like you could have an unconfident vibe, but you look good, you still won't get the girl. You'll get initial intrigue. You need both, but the vibe, without that, you're not gonna be able to convert. All right, understand that. But also the dudes who hyper focus on the vibe and the lines, or even they just hyper focus on the phrases, but their vibe is off and they don't have the look, they're not getting the girls either. They're not attracting people into their lives. It's not just about getting the girl or getting the lay. We're talking about straight social skills, interacting with people. People will be more responsive to you if it looks like you take care of yourself and you have a great vibe. Majority of it, when it comes to social skills, just interacting with people, I would say it's actually more about vibe. As you go to higher levels and you want to focus more on actually getting quality women or connecting with people, I mean, look, your look says a lot about you. There's honest signals about the way you take care of yourself or you don't take care of yourselves, or how you really feel about yourself deep down. Right? If you don't even really love yourself and can consciously control the things you're putting in your body, I mean, dude, what does that say about you, bro? So if you optimize your look and your vibe simultaneously, that's what would really fast track the whole process for you. Dudes spend years just focusing on watching the content, studying the phrases, minimal application, and they look ugly and they have a weird vibe. You're studying the wrong things, guys. You're spending 80+% of your time hyper focusing on the wrong things. You need to have a charismatic, confident vibe about you, the way you communicate, the way your voice sounds, the delivery of your words, the expressions and emotions on your face while you're communicating confidently. All of that is your vibe, and you optimize your look at the same time. It's not one or the other. I've heard all the bullshit excuses about, I'm just focused on myself. No, you focus on yourself, but focus on not just your look, not just your money. Focus on the game, the vibe at the same time, dude. You need both. You need both. And most of you that are trying to study social skills and stuff, you don't really want to get better with your social skills. Like, you really want you're doing that to get a result. And most of you guys are doing it because you're lonely, or you don't have the quality of woman in your life, or you want more friends in your life. It's like a combination of these things, right? And I bet you if you just actually improved your look a little bit and you improved your vibe a little bit, you would start getting more attention from girls in the environments you go out to, just naturally because of your look. For most of you dudes, that would already increase your confidence and your vibe, honestly. Like, most of you dudes just have a suppressed vibe, and if you optimize your look a little bit and you start going out and you start getting a little bit more attention from women, you're gonna start to carry yourself a little bit more attractively just because and this is not ideal, I'm just keeping it real though, you'll start to get validated off the fact that girls are looking at you more. And so that's gonna make a dude, even though I don't recommend dictating your validation from the external world to create a sense of, how cool you are, but if you're at a lower level, that's what's gonna happen. Happened to me too. I started getting success with women, I started being more confident, started walking around, started to get a little bit more attention, started to go towards my ego, started to feel even more confident. That was just part of the progression. I'm just being brutally honest in this video. That's what happened to me. And for most of you guys, if you're at lower levels, you will experience something like that. If you optimize both your look and your vibe, it's gonna make you feel better about yourself. You'll start getting more attention. You'll start getting more positive reactions from the world. And most of you dudes need that. If you've never experienced that and you're trying to get better at your social skills, you're gonna need to get some of that as a confirmation that you're on the right track. Now, long term, you wanna learn how to build your self-talk and your sense of confidence from within. But some of you dudes who've never gotten that positive experience from the world, I promise you, when you finally do get that, which will happen inevitably if you work on your look and your vibe, it's going to start to give you that boost that will get you more bought into doing it and building it even further. As you start to understand all these concepts, the last thing I hear a lot of dudes asking me is, how long is this gonna take? How long does it take? Honestly, this is the honest truth. If you legitimately went all out, I think you could get really good in 3 months. But here's the thing, most of you dudes won't go all out. And most of you dudes don't have the structure. And that's where guys go wrong. And that's what starts to push the timeline back further and further and further. You're not optimizing your look. You're not going all out. Or if you are taking action, you're doing the wrong steps. You're hyper-focused on the wrong things. You don't have the right structure. 3 months, you could make a massive, massive change if you went all out. I think realistically though, because most of you dudes don't have the structure or the time or the guidance or the will to take the amount of action that's needed to go all out. So I think realistically, the timeline for most of you guys is gonna be 1 to 2 years. Maybe 3 to 4 if you're really slow with it or you're at a very, very low level. But here's the good news, is that at every step of the way, it's not like you need to grind with no result for 1, 2, 3 years. Every 1, 2 months, there's gonna be a massive noticeable improvement. And again, I think you could really fast track 3 months, 6 months. If you're really doing it right, you can make a very big change. If you're doing it really right in 1 year, life-changing, like unrecognizable, honestly, if you're really going at it. Or if you lack clarity, if you don't have the structure, if you watch too much content, if you're not optimizing your look, or if you're focusing on the wrong things, you don't have the accountability, you don't have the guidance, you lack motivation at times, you don't have support, right? So you burn out. Most dudes, even a lot of guys that I've seen, they come into the program sometimes, they're on cloud 9 for the first month, first couple weeks going hard, and then they burn out and they give up. They came in with the wrong mindset, whack expectation, thinking it was gonna happen overnight in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. And then when they don't get the result they wanted, they start crying, making excuses. And I'm like, bro, you were on the fucking path, dude. You were on the path. You just didn't lock in for 3 to 6 months. You locked in for 3 to 6 days, 2 to 4 weeks. You probably locked in for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then I mean, dude, if you went hard as fuck in the gym for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, how jacked are you gonna really be? Fix your timeline, guys. Fix your timeline, all right? Less content, more action, structured action based on the next steps that you need to do this day, this week. Optimizing your look simultaneously, working on your vibe, your communication, getting out there to practice daily, and then also going in with a realistic mindset of how long this process is actually gonna take. Locking the fuck in for 3 to 6 months. And if you're going a little bit slower, you're super busy with other things, it might take a little bit longer. You just don't quit, dude. Took me 10 years. Doesn't need to take you 10 years. I can fast track that whole process, man. If you want more structure, if you want more coaching, if you want more of a community around you with support and guidance and a step-by-step process, click the button down below. Check out the brand new coaching programs. I'd love to help you fast track that process. That's all for today, fellas. Let's turn up. I'll see you tomorrow.